welcomes Jana back with us once again, Sindelfing in Germany, and today we go over the Wim Hof Breathing Technique. Today's video will be interesting because I will do the breathing technique and explain it at the same time because Jana is having trouble with the technique. Now, this is actually 1000% normal because usually with this breathing technique, which we will explain a bit later and also the benefits of it. But this breathing technique is usually introduced also with some type of cold therapy. So often a cold shower, a cold pool, or in Europe we have a lot of these public pool centers, if you will, that have cold baths where the water is anywhere Celsius-wise to 8 to 15 degrees. And we, on the extreme ends, will go there and use those because the coldness brings in this pattern of breathing. So in the video we're going to go over how it should be done. I'm going to critique Jana's technique on how she's doing it, and then we're going to discuss how we can use this breathing technique not only to increase our human performance or our athletic performance, but how I like to do this breathing technique and then also apply some of our stretches or the videos we've done before, especially the neck stretches, during the process of this breathing technique. So stay tuned. We start the breathing exercises now and enjoy. So first let's start with what we want to do. The breathing pattern which we want, where Jana is struggling and I will demonstrate it, is when we breathe in, we don't want to fill up the lungs. There's nothing wrong with that, but in this breathing exercise, that's not what we want to do. So as we breathe in, if we fill up the lungs, the stomach becomes thin, yeah? What we want to do is we want to make the stomach fat. So we want to not necessarily fill the lungs up, we want to fill the stomach up. And this coordination between the body is difficult because often we're always breathing in a stressed position or in a position where we want to fill our lungs in. So I'm going to demonstrate right now the correct breathing pattern, and then I'm going to have Jana show her, she's going to try to do it, and we're going to see how it's a bit difficult. When we do these breathing patterns, I want right now everything through the mouth. If you want to do it through the nose, that's okay, but the goal here is to get as much oxygen in the body as possible, and so the mouth and the nose can be used together, but the mouth is going to be able to bring more in. So as you see, that was the wrong technique. The technique I would want to use is going to be where my stomach gets fat. So I'm going to hold my hand on my stomach and I'm going to breathe in 3 times, and you guys will see my hand raise and lower to see the air coming in. Ready? So here's 3 times. Now you notice as I breathe out, I don't breathe all the way out. My goal is not to... We want to over-oxygenate our body, if you will. So the goal is to get more oxygen in and not let all of it out. So basically we want to let it in and let it fall out. So again, the 3 would be... So you can hear the air coming in, you can hear the air coming out. Now for Jana, she will give this a try. Let's also try 3, and she's already a bit nervous here. Let's give that a shot, and let's see if you can get the rhythm, keep the pattern, and have the stomach come out while you breathe. Ready? So for 3 here in a row, yeah? So hand is on the stomach so we can see it. Hi, ready? She gets a bit nervous here. So you see, it's very difficult for her to do this, but what we would be able to do is I could easily tell her to step into the shower, take the water to extreme cold, and then stand under it for 5 or 10 seconds, and automatically you go into this breathing pattern that's basically like a survival breathing pattern. And what we can use this for is we can train our bodies to get this breathing pattern, to bring this excess amount of oxygen in, so then we can train our bodies how to over-oxygenate ourselves, for a lack of better words, when we want to do it. So the pattern here would be, I would prefer to sit like this. I would go 30 times. And then on the 30th time, I will count down from 2 to 1, so you can get the idea of what I will do. But I will stop breathing for as long as possible, yeah? So it would be... In that time, I would hold my breath, not breathe, and just stay peacefully like that for as long as I'm able to. This is quite interesting. This is where you can set a clock and watch the time go by as you're not breathing. This gets pretty interesting because usually the first time we can make it anywhere from a minute to about 2 minutes and 15 seconds. I've made it all the way up to 3.5 minutes before without any oxygen, because actually we have a lot of oxygen in our body from the breathing pattern that we did 30 times. Now, after we've held the breath and we can't hold it anymore, hold it only to where you feel a bit comfortable. Try to go a little bit longer to kind of override your autonomic nervous system. But when you don't have any more oxygen in, don't breathe out. Breathe in and hold for 15 seconds. So that would be, I'll start from the last 2 breaths again. I'll hold it for a short amount of time and then I'll do the breath in, right? So it would be So that's obviously an accelerated program, but I would have done 30 of the breaths, stopped, held it for as long as I could, and then when I cannot hold it anymore, not breathe out. Breathe in, you can hold it for 15 seconds after that, or as long as you want. You will realize this is where you start to get a little bit dizzy, a little bit tingly, or taub as we would say in German, so all the languages are covered there. And as you get dizzy, what we now know from the science of Wim Hof, when he was literally a scientific study and they read what his body was doing, we found out that tingling sensation, if you will, was the oxygen flooding into the body. So as you think your body is suffering from a lack of oxygen because of that feeling, it's actually just the opposite. And during that time in which we're holding our breath, so after the 30 times that we've breathed and then we hold it, what something I think is fantastic to do is go into our previous videos where we are going into our neck stretches, sitting with your legs straight, holding yourself up, pushing your chin down, and as you are in these positions with no oxygen, you will feel the tightness in your body, yeah? You'll feel the stretch within the spine, you feel the muscles that are tight, and I close my eyes and I imagine, as funny as it sounds, my muscles actually releasing, because more and more research is now also showing that if we reimagine and visualize our muscles becoming longer, our range of motion becoming better, and overall going deeper into our stretch, it actually is doing that. It does make a difference. So this is the Wim Hof exercise modified, because I like to put those stretches in between. So again, to recap, it would be sitting however you want to sit, lay down if you want, 30 times. After the 30th, holding as long as possible and then not breathing out. Breathing in for 15 seconds or as long as you can. Stretching during all of that time if you want, or just closing your eyes and relaxing. And then breathing out, and then continuing 3 to 4 times. And each time you continue, that moment, that period in which you're holding your breath usually always increases. Alright guys, so that was a bit of a longer video, but a bit tricky to explain and do them at the same time, but also fantastic to have Jana here that was struggling with the technique, because many people struggle with that technique, with the rhythm, with the coordination, or do the breathing exercises for a very long time and not realize they are breathing in the entire time instead of filling their gut, which is extremely important. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is a fantastic exercise to really calm yourself down, bring a level of mental health and awareness, and a fantastic way to stretch, and super important for people that want to go into that high performance setting. So if you're an athlete getting ready to play Wimbledon, if you're a race car driver in Formula One, or if you're just a business guy getting ready to go into a huge meeting, this is a fantastic way to bring the oxygen back in your body and really allow yourself to fire at full power, right? Alright guys, as always, Jana, thank you for the help. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and social media. We are everywhere, especially Facebook and Instagram under Grant Training Systems. But my favorite is the newsletter. If you have not signed up for it yet, do so on gtsgermany.com and get special access to the private video for success tips and lifestyle secrets. So quite cool in the newsletter, but you gotta sign up for it. Again, gtsgermany.com. And until next week, thank you and peace.